Go.
Hello, my dear students, and welcome to a new semester and our General Chemistry 1 course here at Sierra College in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. My name is Mark Shanley, Dr. Mark Shanley. I'm the instructor for the course, and I'll apologize right now for my dogs and their squeaker toys making noise and playing in the background. The jingling you hear is their rabies tags and name tags. Anyway, to our course. I want to do just a quick video introduction and tell you how the course is structured, what you can find online besides this video, and make sure I make a proper introduction of myself to you and our course with some of the logistics involved in it. When you open up your course in Canvas, you will see announcements and welcomes, not welcomes, but you'll see a welcome in the announcements and also in the information. The syllabus is also linked on my instructor version of Canvas along the left menu. Your mileage may vary, but what you will also find is the following structure for the material as we move through it. So before I introduce myself to you and introduce you to the book, let me introduce you to the course and the course structure. So this is General Chemistry with a prerequisite of college algebra, if not college algebra, current enrollment in college algebra. For those of you taking the online course and are my precocious young scholars from the high school, I will be seeing you in the laboratory portion, but there will be slight differences between the syllabi, between the regular online and your course. What else do I need to tell you about? Let me just go back to how the course is structured. So when you open up the course, you will see our topics divided into modules. In this first introductory module, you'll see a video lecture. Most of the time I just do a screencast and go through the material by going through a PowerPoint presentation that matches the material we're covering in a general chemistry course sequence. And I'll talk more about how we align with the book and different books in a minute. When you watch that and follow along using your own book or course text materials, after you finish that, there'll be assignments. This first chapter has a single one, but there'll be 2, 3, or 4 assignments per chapter, not per chapter, but per module. And the modules may cover more than one chapter and may be assembled from different chapters. And those assignments are posted and have due dates, which I want you to remember to pay attention to. You really do not want to get behind in chemistry. And after a time, I will post a video help session for that homework assignment. Now, every year I make up a fresh assignment, and I change the values, or I change some of the questions and everything, and I don't necessarily record a new video help session, for example. So I'll go through the problems and the questions, but so you can see the process and the procedure, but it may involve a different compound or a different atom or a different mass, so that you follow the process but put your information in from your assignment. By the way, in Canvas I also have the ability to give everybody the same assignment but make differences from person to person within that assignment so that each person gets a different atom or a different mass or a different temperature or a different variable. And so if you are working together, don't copy directly. Make sure you understand the process. And I encourage you to study together, help one another, and support each other. But don't copy directly because you won't learn your chemistry that way. So that's the way the course is structured. A lecture, just like if you came to class, except it's online. It's asynchronous. We won't have regular meetings. You can work at your own pace, but once again, don't get behind. And there'll be assignments. There'll be some help for the assignments. And as we like to say here at CARC, where you can make your mark at CARC, there's always help available to those who ask. And how do you ask? Well, once again, I'm Mark Shanley. You can contact me by email, mshanley@carc.edu. But if you want a response, the best thing to do is to call or text me at my cell phone, 870-377-3499. I frequently get emails 1, 2, or 3 in a row, and people keep saying, how come you haven't answered my email? Or, how come you didn't answer my first email if it's the second time they've asked me that? And I get calls from my dean and my president, Mark, answer your damn email. And I'll get to it when I get to it. But if you want to get a hold of me, call or text. If I'm driving or eating dinner with my family or talking to someone else or on the line with another person, leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I love texts. If you text me, I can do what y'all do in class, and that is kind of, if I'm in a meeting or something, sneak a message back to you. Because if you have questions, I may have to say, I need to go look at the problem, and I can't answer you right now. But if you have simple questions like, is this material going to be on the test, and the test is tomorrow? Or do we even have a test tomorrow? These are the kinds of questions I get. The answer is absolutely. Contact me because I want you studying for test and studying at the right time, but I also don't want you wasting your time. So call or text if you want me. Email me if you're not in a hurry. And I'll tell you why I don't always get to my email here in a minute. I want to talk to you about the book. We're using an online resource called ChemLibre. It's a collaboration between the University of California system, including UCLA, UC Berkeley, all the great schools out there in California, and the National Science Foundation. Excuse my dogs playing rough with one another in the background. And it was done a number of years ago, but it's constantly and continually updated. It's an OER, Open Education Resource, written by some of the top people in the world of chemistry and used by many of the top schools in the country and in the world. I will show you more detail about this with a slight video presentation over your book in the next couple of days. The book is by Brown and LeMay et al. There are a number of authors. I just called it Brown and LeMay because when I used the first edition, back before you were born, I think it came out in 1977, it was by just Brown and LeMay. Brown is, I want to say Tim, but I can't remember his first name. He's at the University of Illinois in Urbana. He's an emeritus professor, a famous chemist. Does organometallic chemistry, and a fantastic writer. That's ostensibly our book. But I'm using the ChemLibre book that has all the chemistry material, and really all the chemistry material you'll need if you were to become a chemist. You'll never have to buy a chemistry book again because it's not just freshman chemistry books they have there, as I will show you briefly later in another video. But they have the chemistry material aligned to all the common chemistry, first year chemistry books, which would be what? Brown and LeMay, which I believe is the best, Petrucci, which is used heavily in Canada. I'm not so enamored of it. Tro is another one. Zumdahl and Zumdahl is another great chemistry text. They have separate, they've rearranged their text and their readings to follow the chapter outline and course sequence for the different textbooks. But everything you need will be free and online, and I will provide that link in another post. And I will show you more about Chem Libre later. So officially, there is no textbook for the course. There should never be a textbook for any chemistry course anywhere in the world because there are such great free resources. I also use OpenStax, but a little secret, OpenStax uses Chem Libre for theirs. The book, how to contact me, the structure of the course, the syllabus is on there, and just a brief introduction to me. Why am I here teaching chemistry? My name is Mark Shanley. I'm a simple country biochemist from Texas. I was born in Texas, but lived all over the world, and came back to Texas to go to college. Like you, I went to a community college called San Antonio College, and I had a chemistry professor, Mr. Gailey, and he was fantastic. He was a retired chemist out of industry. And I've worked in industry as well myself, as you'll hear from time to time when I add background and information to my lectures. But I went to community college for 2.5 years, going every summer, till I ran out of courses to take, and matriculated at Texas A&M in 1974, and graduated from Texas A&M with a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and biophysics. And then I went on and earned my PhD. I finished in 1982, but I graduated in 1983 with my graduate degree in biochemistry from the Department of Biochemistry and Biophysics. After that, I was the Yale Celanese Biotechnology Fellow at Yale University, working under Dr. Nick Ornstein, a member of the National Academy of Science, studying breakdown of toxic aromatic compounds in the soil and cloning genes for the organisms that metabolize them. After I finished my postdoctoral fellowship, it's a professional internship we do in the academy, I went on to Southern Methodist University, where I was the James Trustee Professor of Microbiology, because I work in microbial systems. And in the wake of changes in administration and a football scandal at Southern Methodist University, I moved to the University of North Texas, where I taught for 20 years. In about 2000, I retired from, a little after 2000, I retired from University of North Texas and became a stay-at-home dad to 3 of my children. I went on to move, and it's a long story, which I'm not going to tell now, but to Arkansas, and started teaching here in the Delta to in the K-12 system. And as soon as I moved here, I started teaching as an adjunct for CARC. And as an adjunct, I taught biology and physics and chemistry, because my degree's in biochemistry and biophysics. I can really teach it all, and just taught for them as needed. And then a full-time position became available, and I moved up as a biology instructor to the college. My wife also taught at the college. But I then, after a short time, became dean, and a few years later retired. In case you're wondering, I'm 70 years old. I'll be 71 this October. I'm married. I have 10 kids and 3 dogs. And I live in the little town of Grady. So I know what y'all are experiencing with your frequent and frequent outages and irregular internet service providers. We've been using Starlink, and for the most part, have been very happy with it as a way. But I see y'all sitting in the McDonald's parking lot, and the campus isn't open 24 hours anymore, so I don't know if you can use campus Wi-Fi. But when they're open, as long as classes are still going on, there's Wi-Fi available on campus and lots of good computer labs. We'll talk about that later as we go on. So I'm going to, your course is open. You know that because you're watching this video. But also, I have the first couple of modules posted, and I'll have more posted later this week or the next week for those who want to work ahead and see where we're headed. But the things to look out for are, I want you to check in daily. I'll have little informational posts about how chemistry touches every aspect of your life. I'll have a new video posted on the book and our open educational resources. And if any more questions or problems arise and I see more than one person asking the same question, I'll post occasional update videos from time to time. But for the most part, we'll communicate by announcements and posts. And if you need to get in contact with me, don't ever hesitate to call. Call anytime. If I'm asleep, I won't answer. It never hurts my feelings or bothers me if you call or text and try and get in contact with me at my cell phone, again, 870-377-3499. So, I hope you have a wonderful semester here in chemistry. Once again, I'm here and available. I'm retired and I have lots of things going on with all the kids in my house and my family, but I'm always, I won't say available, but I'm always reachable, and I'll make myself available as you need me. So have a good semester and keep up. Goodbye now.